Hello students, today we will discuss next poem from your syllabus, that is Sorrow, written by famous English poet P.B.Shelley. Students, this is image of the poet P.B.Shelley. First of all, I would like to discuss with you that what actually the poem is about. So the title of the poem is Sorrow. Sorrow produces different types of effects on different people. In some cases, it produces utter dismay or total void. According to the poet, sorrow in Punjabi, sorrow means dukh. Sorrow produces different types of effects on different people. So, sorrow or unhappiness or grief, it produces different types of effects on different types of people. In some cases, it produces utter dismay. Dismay means distress, nirasha, or total void. Void means emptiness. In some cases, means for some people, sorrow produces distress or total emptiness. It results in mental and emotional lassitude, in acute depression. For some people, it produces mental and emotional lassitude. They face lack of energy when some people are in grief or in sorrow. They are others who recollect their earlier life and weigh the loss of youthful hope against the gains of the present. Some people recollect their earlier life. They try to remember their earlier life and weigh the loss of youthful hope against the gains of the present. So they try to weigh the loss of youthful hope against the gains of the present. Some people, they give more importance to their past. Then there are thick skinned people. They are content to enjoy the present moment. Sensitive people are affected most by sorrow. There are some people who are thick skinned people, but they are content, means they are satisfied with their life and they uh, enjoy the present moment of their life. Sensitive people are affected most by sorrow. They lose all hope and interest in life. The world seems dull, gloomy, and empty to them. Some people lose their hope and interest in life. For them, the world is dull, gloomy means full of sadness and empty. They suffer from acute depression. So, sensitive people bear the brunt of sorrow. Sorrow goes deep into their heart. No worldly balm can heal their wounds. So the people who are very weak or weak mentally, or we can say sensitive, they suffer from depression, and they can't tolerate the shock of sorrowness. Sorrow goes deep into their heart. No worldly balm can heal their wounds. Nothing can give them comfort and consolation. So this is introduction to the poem. And according to this, there are different types of people who are affected in different ways by the sorrow or grief. So let's discuss the first stanza of the poem. To me, this world's a dreary blank. All hopes in life are gone and fled. My high strung energies are sank, and all my blissful hopes lie dead. The world once smiling to my view showed scenes of endless bliss and joy. The world I then but little knew. Ah, I little knew how pleasures cloy. So, according to this stanza, so in this very first stanza, the poet says that to me means to the poet. This world is dreary blank, all hopes in life are gone and fled. My high strung energies are sank, and all my blissful hopes lie dead. For the poet, sorrow has resulted in depression. For so due to that depression, world seems blank to him. All hopes in life are gone and fled. The poet says that all of his hopes has been lost. My high-strung energies are sank. So the poet, due to the loss of his hopes, the poet is in extremely low energies or low spirits. All my blissful hopes lie dead. All of his hopes, his blissful hopes, have been dead. The world once smiling to my view showed scenes of endless bliss and joy. The poet says that there was a time, the world once means in the past, there was a time when the world seems to him that it is smiling to him, showed scenes of endless bliss and joy. That time seems to present scenes of endless bliss. Bliss means happiness and joy. The poet says that once there was a time when the world seems to him to smiling at him, and it presented scenes of endless happiness and joy to him. The world I then but little knew how pleasures cloy. But the poet says that at that time he had little knowledge of the world. He did not know that one soon feels fed up with worldly pleasures. So he says that at that time he had not much knowledge of the world. A little knew how pleasures cloy. At that time he did not know how a person feels fed up with the pleasures of this world. Next stanza. All then was jocund, all was gay, no thought beyond the present hour. I danced in pleasure's fading ray, fading alas, as drooping flower. Nor do the heedless in the throng one thought beyond the morrow give. They court the feast, the dance, the song, nor think how short their time to live. So, in this stanza, the poet remembers his days of his youth. All then means the days of his youth. All then means days of his youth. All then was jocund, all was gay. The poet says that in the days of his youth, when he was a young boy, at that time everything looked jocund. Jocund means happy. All was gay. Gay also means cheerful and happy. At that time everything looked happy. No thought beyond the present hour. He was so satisfied with the present moment of his life, and he never thought about the future. I danced in pleasure's fading ray, fading alas as drooping flower. He danced in the pleasures of fading ray. He danced in the dazzling light of pleasures. Pleasures means khushiyan, which soon began to fade like a flower. But those pleasures soon started fading away. So, nor do the heedless in the throng one thought beyond the morrow give. At that time, soon he began to fade like a flower which hangs down its head in the heat of the sun. One thought beyond the morrow give, they quote the feast, the dance, the song. The poet says that thoughtless people do not bother about the future. So their thoughts do not go beyond the present moment. They quote the feast, the dance, the song, nor think how short their time to live. So the poet says that the people who don't think much about their future, they are thoughtless people, and their thoughts never go beyond their present moment. They enjoy the pleasures of the present moment. They feast. They quote the feast. Feast means they have their food, they dance and they sing songs, not think how short their time to live. The poet says that such people don't bother and don't think that they have a short span of life to live, so they make the most of their present. So, students, today we have covered the first two stanzas of the poem Sorrow, and tomorrow we will continue with our next lecture. Thank you very much.